Hey there, welcome back to the Fantasy Football Game Plan. I'm Judy, he's Quinten, and it's week 12. We're going to give you our favorite player props for this week. We're targeting some lines that seem off and some lopsided contest. Drop your best bets in the comments and help us out and hit subscribe so you don't miss any of our episodes. Let's jump into the first prop that you like with Ashton Jeanty.
Yeah, a couple of these are just going off of what I saw in the games last week. And I want Ashton Jeanty under Ashton Jeanty under 57.5 rushing yards at minus 111. He had 7 rushing yards last week. He was 6 for 7 with a long of 11. That seems impossible to do with your top 10 drafted running back. We're also, and that was against the Cowboys. The Cowboys, has been able to
Yeah.
rush against the Cowboys, which is amazing.
And now they get Cleveland coming into Las Vegas, which doesn't sound like it's going to get any better. The Cleveland defense has been good.
Yeah. Overall, this is more an indictment on that Las Vegas offensive line. I still think Jeanty is talented, but that is a bottom 3 offensive line against the Cleveland front. And it seems like they know it too, because they didn't even try to run. We talk about 6 attempts. He had 8 targets. They were trying to get him involved in other ways because they know they can't move the ball on the ground.
Yeah, they can't move the ball on the ground. It's been extremely surprising to me. Ashton Jeanty was somebody I was drafting really high in August, and it's stunning how bad this offense has looked.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it. We're starting off, I think, with a win there. Let's move on to the next one, which is a repeat of last week that hit
Yeah, we
with Michael
copied this
Wilson.
one out of last week. You had a great call on Michael Wilson last week. We maybe should have taken the alt line on that one.
Yeah, 15 catches. That's crazy.
Yeah. But we're
Was it
the sports. Yeah, it was
was it
18
catches?
targets and 15
18 target. Oh my
receptions.
gosh. As I said that, I'm like, wait, I must have said that wrong. It must have been targets, but no, it was 15 catches.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. And his line is at 4.5 again. I don't know what they're doing here. It just seems like they didn't catch up to the news that Marvin Harrison's going to be out again. It's minus 147, so they did change the price and that shifted. But still, that is a great return for what feels almost like a lock with what we saw last week.
Yeah, he was definitely one of the favorite targets. And even though he had 15 receptions, it wasn't like anyone else on that team was suffering and not getting the ball. Jacoby Brissett threw it 57 times. He had 47 completions. And Trey McBride was hitting his over. Greg Dortch was hitting his over. So they were all getting the love. And now they're going up against Jacksonville. I really like this call again.
Yeah, I think also we're talking about Jacksonville. If you were on our DFS, we highlighted that that is the highest pace. Both those teams play at the 1 and 2 highest pace of the NFL. So the volume should be there. Even if they get Trey Benson back, there's so much extra offense and so many extra touches that need to be accounted for. That 4.5 is way too low. I like the all lines for this too. I mean, even 7 receptions is plus 226.
So are you willing to go up to 7? Is that what you're looking at? That 7 line is kind of as high as that you want to go. And I
7
don't think we see Trey Benson, but if we do, are you back down to like 6?
7 feels like the safest for me. So I've got his alt lines up now. 7 is plus 270. If you go all the way up to 10, you get a plus 1300, which feels
Oh
pretty
my
good for
gosh.
something that this player did 1.5 times last week.
It
Um,
does.
so I'm fine taking his alt lines and just kind of paying up for it all the way up to 10.
I like it. I'm having fun with this one. I think he's in a great spot as well. I kind of want to look at Trey McBride and that whole team, see if they've got them all priced a little misleading.
Mm.
But we can move on to the next one. I don't know that I'm in on this one, but go ahead.
Okay, let me sell you on it.
Sell
The
me on
next
it.
one is Colts versus Chiefs. And it's kind of one of the special markets on DK that the largest lead in the entire game throughout the game is going to be under 14.5 points. So no one leads by more than 2 touchdowns throughout the game. And we've seen this game script with these two teams, not against each other, but throughout the season, they've been in these close competitive games. We saw the Chiefs and Broncos go down to the wire, and we saw an overtime game from the Colts and Falcons the last kind of couple games. And I think both of these teams are pretty similar. We're talking about number 1 and number 3 in terms of success rate. They're getting a lot of these sustained long drives and scoring a lot. They've been very efficient on offense. I think that's what we're going to see. We're going to see a back and forth. Those long drives, especially if they end in like a field goal, really help with this largest lead bet and trying to keep it competitive. But I think we're going to see a back and forth. I also really like the under here too. Their defenses kind of take away the strengths of the other one. Like the Chiefs rushing defense is one of the best in the league. I think Taylor will be limited. And that Colts secondary is going to be much healthier coming off the bye. And I think they'll be able to limit the Chiefs passing.
I can agree with everything that you said, and therefore maybe I should be bought into this. My fear is that we see the real Daniel Jones and we see the Colts make a lot of mistakes. And we saw that when they played the Steelers. We've seen it multiple times in recent weeks where they've had multiple turnovers, and sometimes they get away with it. In the Steelers game, they didn't get away with it. And with the Chiefs defense, if they continue to put the ball on the ground, they won't get away with it either. And this game will be over that 14.5. And so that's my fear, is particularly Daniel Jones making a lot of mistakes and giving this game to the Chiefs
Yeah,
instead
I
of
think
somebody stepping up to win it.
that is a good call out on the way this fails. I think it would have to be an early mistake, and especially a defensive score is kind of killer for this bet. But they
Yeah.
are pretty unlikely. I think they'll kind of get it figured out off the bye is why I'm feeling good about under 14.5 throughout the game.
Yeah, if you like the other side of it, the over, if you think there are going to be a lot of mistakes, it probably pays pretty well.
I think the best thing you're rooting for here is Colts get the ball and they have a long 6.5 minute drive and kick a field goal in that first possession. If that, then I'm feeling great about this bet.
So what do you think if it's just 3 and out and 3 and out and 3 and out, which is more the vision I see?
The under helps too. The longer we can go without a score, the more this is going to promote. And then I think if it's on the team to respond, these offenses have been successful enough to get it done when they need to. That's kind of the other mindset.
All right. Well, we'll see how that one turns out.
Doesn't sound sold.
I'm not sold on that one. I see the real Daniel Jones stepping forward, and that scares me a whole lot. Let's go on to one that I like, which is Tyler Shough under his half interception. So Tyler Shough, the New Orleans quarterback, not to throw an interception against the Atlanta Falcons. He's looked a lot more competent than I thought he was going to. He's at home. He's playing a very struggling Falcons defense. And this is a plus 105, so it's plus money. I had been looking on the other side of this, so Kirk Cousins to throw an interception, which I like as well, but it's negative. I like going on the plus side to get a little bit better payout here. And the Falcons defense is coming off 2 overtime games versus the Saints coming off of their bye week.
Yeah, it's a big rest advantage. That's a tired defense for the Falcons. It also helps, I think, New Orleans is going to be in a positive game script. I think they're going to be leading this game, which just takes a lot of pressure off that rookie quarterback. It's tough
Yeah,
if
it does.
I think the one game he did have an interception was when they were just getting crushed by the Rams, and then you're having to drop back and throw every single time.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to have to in this, and I really like this game for him. Touchdowns. Where are we going with touchdowns?
Yeah, we've got a couple themes for our touchdowns. We want to target those bad defenses, those defenses that you can run on, and we think the teammates are going to get it done. I'll walk us through the first one. The first one is betting on those Lions against the New York Giants, and it is parlaying Jahmyr Gibbs, his legs at minus 230, and then David Montgomery at minus 115, them both to score a touchdown at plus 164. They have the NFL record for most games with a touchdown together, so I like that. And then a plus 164 against the worst rushing defense in the league. It's a pretty good price.
That's a great price. I think the thing that stumped us a little bit on touchdowns this week were there are a lot of bad payouts, a lot of negative numbers here, and to find anyone positive was difficult, especially when you're liking all of the running backs and they're just all a minus 230. 115 is a good payout right now for a running back, but you don't have to parlay it. You could just bet them separate, but parlay it as well. 2 more running backs that we like to get in the end zone this week is going after the Patriots and Bengals game. So going after Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson to each get a touchdown. Ramondre Stevenson is a minus 155 and Travion Henderson is a minus 155 and 165. They're very close. Do you parlay them together for a plus 178? Going against the Bengals defense, we know they're going to be looking to run the ball. Everyone can run against the Bengals, and we know that the Patriots want to run the ball as well. And if they get Ramondre Stevenson back, which it looks like they're going to, I think they get him involved, and we go back to that share again for these running backs.
It also kind of helps that there's no chase, so there'll probably be a little less efficient offense from Cincinnati and maybe some shorter fields and quick punts from them.
Yeah, definitely. What do we have
The
for a parlay? Oh,
Well, on the touchdown, real quick, the other ones that I'm interested in is we have some absolute trash games too. And so I want to sprinkle in some no touchdown bets on that Cleveland Las Vegas game. Las Vegas has already not scored a touchdown 3 separate occasions this season. And Shadur Sanders, I believe, I'm looking at the sack lines there. They're not available yet, but I'm looking at Max Crosby, 2+ sacks. I don't think Cleveland's going to get it done. I don't think Stefanski is going to trust Shadur, and I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball. Las Vegas, you can't run on them. They're a really good rushing defense. So this just sets up to it for a nothing game. It's 30-1 for neither team to score a touchdown. And also putting probably like a tenth of a unit on no one to score in the Atlanta New Orleans game.
I don't like that. I think New Orleans is going to roll in that game. I'll stay away from that, but I don't mind the Cleveland and Raiders call for no one
Yeah.
to score a touchdown.
This
If I could
typically
just take the
happens.
Raiders, I probably would.
Yeah. You can take their team under, which is like a much safer way to play it and something I'll probably be interested in, especially those sack lines. But a no touchdown game typically happens 1 or 2 times throughout the season. And there's some couple matchups where I can see it this week.
Yeah, I agree. All right, what's the parlay?
So the parlay is kind of a smaller parlay this week. It's only 2 legs. And it is one attacking and under for that Cleveland Raiders game. And the theme for this is QB rushing. So we're taking 2 unders. The first one is JJ McCarthy under 16.5 against the Packers. And the second one is Shadur Sanders under 22.5 against the Raiders. The rationale behind this is the Packers and Raiders play zone coverage at some of the highest rates in the entire NFL. When you're playing zone, everyone's eyes are on the quarterback. The linebackers can rally to the ball a lot quicker. It's tough for quarterbacks to scramble. Neither of these quarterbacks are run first quarterbacks anywhere. We're not talking Justin Fields. We're not talking like a Jackson. So both of these are more pocket passers that only scramble when it's available. And it's not going to be available against these defenses. So that's why I kind of like it for both these unders. It's also, they're mobile enough that you're not getting that like 5-yard rushing line, which like if you look like Cam Ward, he
Yeah,
like hardly ever scrambles, but it's like a 5-yard line. These ones scramble enough that it's at least double digits. You have a little wiggle room in case they run once or twice.
a little bit.
Yeah.
No, I like it. I like these 2-leg parlays. We've now got 3 of them really on this slate, so that's kind of fun. They're a little easier to hit.
And yeah, plus 252, not quite the payout, but I think it's a much safer one. And then we got those long shots, no touchdowns if you want to go that way too.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's fun. So that's it for our week 12 player props. Tell us your favorite play in the comments for this week and play smart, have fun, and we will see you for week 13.